Get ready. Get set. It's the Wine Ladies with Georgia and Suzanne. An hour just filled to the brim.
Bring us some fresh wine. No more of this old stuff.
For great ideas about wine, where to dine, and anything and everything to do with the vine, stay tuned because Georgia and Suzanne are ready to take your calls and listen to what you've got to say.
The lines are now open. Call 416-870-2486 or toll free 1-866-444-8326.
Hi, everybody. It's us, the Wine Ladies. I'm Georgia. And I'm Suzanne. And welcome, everyone, to the show this morning. Wow, we are in for an exciting time in our fair city here in Toronto. The film festival is just about to kick off in a couple of weeks. And you can feel the groundswell of anticipation percolating as we walk the streets.
Well said. Not fermenting? No, just kidding.
No, percolating.
Indeed we can. Now, Suzanne and I are very excited. We are going to be interviewing many of the celebrities that are going to be here for the festival, talking wine with the stars. How exciting is that? I can't wait.
You know what? It is going to be absolutely awesome. You know, Georgia, there's going to be filmmakers coming here, directors, actors from all over the world. And what a great opportunity, a platform, if you will, to showcase our Canadian wines to the world.
Absolutely. And speaking of awards and stars, we have our own indisputable star right here in the studio, the very talented and charming Marco Piccoli. He's the winemaker for Jackson-Triggs, Niagara-on-the-Lake. And Marco is going to tell us all about his philosophy of winemaking and how he makes those superb wines.
Now, you know, Jackson-Triggs, it was founded in 1993, and they have been voted the best Canadian winery 20 times in domestic and international competitions.
Unbelievable.
You know, they represent some of the finest Canadian wines. And throughout the festival, we are going to be very fortunate because we are going to be toasting and drinking the wines of Jackson-Triggs with all of the wonderful stars that we will have an opportunity to interview.
You said it. Now, we're also going to look at the role of wine in movies. Remember Bottle Shock and Sideways? I mean, there was a big upswing, I think, in Pinot Noir and a downswing in Merlot after that movie. But we're also going to look at what are the celebrities drinking these days? Who's into wine and who's not? And if they're not, why not?
Also joining us this morning to learn a little bit more about the fabulous wine producer is Casey Howe, and he is the marketing manager for Jackson-Triggs Estate Wines. So, you know, without further ado, let's welcome our guests to the show and get drinking and eating and enjoying the morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Welcome.
Hi, good morning, ladies.
Great to have you, gentlemen. Hi, truffles.
So now we had this truffle popcorn. We were over at one of these Savor the Sights events, the East Meets West in July. And this is where we were introduced to this fantastic truffle popcorn with the Méthode Classique, wonderful sparkling wine. And we thought, oh my gosh, you have to bring it back. It was absolutely delicious. And how fitting for the film festival.
Perfect.
Oh, isn't it a great idea? I mean, food and wine pairing doesn't have to be complicated. You could just simply take some truffle oil, popcorn, and a lovely sparkling, such as our 2004 Méthode Classique.
That's
and voila.
Wow,
Oh,
that was
awesome.
well done.
But, you know, maybe, Marco, you can tell us a little bit about this wonderful sparkling wine that we're going to be enjoying.
The wine that we're enjoying now is 2004 Méthode Classique. It's a Brut Méthode Classique wine. It's a wine that is made with a blend of 70% of Pinot Noir, give or take 70%.
Okay.
30% of Chardonnay. The grapes are picked very early, especially the Pinot Noir grapes. The reason why we do that is because it's a wine that will stay. You have to rest after the primary fermentation. We rest for 4 years in the bottles before being
4 years in the bottle.
Yes.
Wow.
And it's important to have a wine that has a very high acidity. And this way we pick some grapes earlier, like the Pinot Noir.
Yes.
The grapes are going to be hand-picked. We sort them on a sorting table just to make sure that only the perfect bunches are going through. We soft press them with the stem and everything in the bladder presses. Very low pressure we use on that in this case, in this scenario. And the juices are fermented, separated.
Yes.
And at the end, let's say beginning of January, this kind of time frame, you're looking around 3 months after the picking, we are already looking at the final blend.
Well, George and I always say that we don't drink enough sparkling wine every day. Not every day. You mean like,
is that what we say?
You know, it doesn't have to be always still wine. Why not some sparkling wine?
Well, and absolutely. Most people think that they have to save it for a special occasion,
Yes.
to your point, Sam. But But really, sparkling should be part of every day. Why not?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
you're
also,
with me on that one then.
Exactly. Well, and also right here in the Niagara Peninsula, we're really fortunate that we have the perfect growing climate and region for fine quality sparkling wines.
Yes.
Our climate is very similar to Champagne, where some of the finest sparkling wines are produced. So the cool climate and the fact that we could grow Pinot Noir and Chardonnay so well
Yes.
makes it the perfect mix for sparkling.
Let's have a toast. A toast
Cheers.
to Marco
Cheers.
and to the film festival and to Casey.
Cheers.
everybody.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Little sip. And why does this go so
Delightful.
well with the truffle popcorn, Marco?
I think first of all, the nose. The wine is very aromatic. It has that kind of spiciness that is coming out of it, and the truffle has that kind of. I would define it almost pungent note.
Yes.
As soon as you smell
I
it.
love his accent.
And
So charming. You have to be
wonderful.
an artist to be a winemaker, to be able to describe your children like that, you know?
kind of.
You
Your
do.
children?
Yeah, your children, your wines, or your
Oh,
children.
your creations. Oh, I
creations,
see.
your children,
Okay.
you know? To be
Yeah.
able to talk of them with such love the way you do.
That's right.
Well, it's definitely a kind of job that you need a lot of passion to do. Otherwise, you
Yes.
just you can't do it.
CP24 Radio 1050.
In studio this morning, we have Marco Piccoli, who is the winemaker for Jackson-Triggs of Niagara, as well as Casey Howe, marketing manager from Jackson-Triggs. We've just enjoyed some wonderful Méthode Classique Jackson-Triggs with some truffle popcorn. And I was saying to Casey earlier, this wine is just spectacular. And the thing is, do Canadian wines get enough sort of fanfare out there in the world? I know we're going to be telling everybody about it at the International Film Festival, but what is the status of Canadian wines in the world today?
Well, absolutely. The pendulum is starting to swing for Canadian wines. I think, to your point, just like our fine actors and producers with Film Fest, a lot of the times with things that are Canadian, you have to export it out of Canada for it to get recognized. And then once it's awarded and has all the accolades and comes back home, then it's celebrated and recognized for that. So very similar to Canadian wines. We're constantly trying to put Canadian wine on the world stage, and recognize for the great quality that it truly is out of both appellations.
Absolutely. And I find that we don't do enough of that here in Canada. We have to toot our own horns. Well, we do. You know what? I have a friend who just came back from Australia.
You have a friend? No,
I have
just
one.
kidding.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about the one friend. No. He just came back from Australia, and we were talking about that, and he said almost all of the wines on all of the wine lists are all about Australia. That's not the That's
Those
not the way it
Aussies.
is here. We have to do more of that, don't you think, Casey?
I bet it happens in Italy too, right?
It does. No, you're absolutely right. I think we should be more proud of our Canadian wines. And, especially in Ontario, I think we're starting to see a shift where people are going local and proud of sort of what's in their own backyard. So I think that mindset is certainly starting to change. And even if you look at Jackson-Triggs, just recently, our proprietor's Grand Reserve Shiraz, was awarded the best Shiraz in the world, which is unheard of for a North American wine.
That's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. We're constantly awarded and applauded for sort of the quality and value that we have.
I think that was I think I read somewhere that's the first time that prize was ever awarded to a non-Australian, non-South African wine. Is that right? Is that correct?
That's absolutely right. Actually, they were so flabbergasted, they actually did a second tasting because they couldn't believe it was a Canadian wine that won.
Oh, that's terrible.
Really?
But Marco's doing the same here with our own Delane Vineyard Syrah and
So let's talk about
producing
that
a
a little
beautiful
bit.
wine.
So the Shiraz that we have here is more on the cool climate style of Shiraz, so more white pepper at the nose, not a lot of
Yes.
fruit, less alcohol at the palate, but nice body, good tannins as well. Very good for aging in bottle.
Probably a good food wine too.
And and again, there are wines that to me are very food friendly. So you can pair it, as we said, you can have it with a steak, with chocolate, with something else. I'm having in mind now the Shiraz. We were talking earlier about the Méthode Classique. We can vary with different kind of food.